start from minus to plus, it includes 0. Whenever the confidence interval includes 0, the p-value will not significant. Okay, so whenever the sign is coming, same sign, minus to minus or plus to plus, the p-value will come significant. So we are indirectly, we are going to check it whether p-value is significant or not significant based on the confidence interval. So always whenever you are going to make the table, you need to include this 95% confidence interval in your table. Then only the researcher or reviewer or editor, they will check it whether your p-value is significant or not significant. Based on that, if you are not doing this one or skipping this value, they will have some doubt about your research. So always you have to include, whether you are doing pad and unpaired t-test, you should have to include 95% confidence interval in your table. So you should not forget it. Right. Here you can see that the mean value, group 1, how much, standard deviation. So always you have to type in your table mean and standard deviation. Okay. Then how many numbers? 2. Only I have to type 2, so that's why sample size 2. If you're 30, 30, 50, 50, like this you can include. Okay. So this is the way we are going to view the results. Okay. Now I am going to go again. This is for continuous variable. Always you can do parametric test. Categorical test. Categorical data. I told you categorical data comes nominal and ordinal. This is only for non-parametric test. So whenever you are going to use this one, you can use check your test. Then other test you can use it for non-parametric test. Then you go to so whenever you are going to use the patty test or unpatty test for parametric test, so you have all data you can enter or copy paste the Excel value into it. Sometimes you only have mean values, mean standard deviation. You just enter mean and standard deviation. So only is going to set group 1, what is the mean standard deviation, what is the total sample size, group 2 mean standard deviation and total group. How we are, why we have to use it? Somebody, they have already published a paper, you want to check that whether they have done properly or not. You just take the mean value and standard deviation and total number of sample, you put it in group 1, group 2 and you check it whether they have done properly or not. So you can cross check that. There is also you can use it. Okay, fine. So the young researchers, budding researchers, you can use this software for continuous data, parametric test, categorical data, non-parametric test. Then what is the other use? You can just go to this one. This is going to helpful for you to find out that normal distribution, whether the data comes under normal distribution or not normal distribution, whether skewness is there or not. So that also you can find out before going to start your analysis. Okay, once the data comes under normal distribution, you can go for parametric. It's not comes under normal distribution, you go for non-parametric test. Even though the data in continuous data or discrete data, you first check that this one whether it comes under normal distribution or Caucasian distribution. When the data comes normal distribution, you go for parametric, otherwise go for non-parametric. So the other use of this software is going to find out whether the data comes under normal distribution or not. Then again you go back, the random number. So you can use this software to create random numbers. Before going to do the research, we need to allocate the group, whether it's group 1, group 2, based on random number. You can do the random number here also. We can make it random selection. Usually we will do odd number, even number, like this. Odd number group 1, even number group 2, like this we will make based on the attendance register or whatever maybe you can data you can use it. But here also, if a random number you select it, based on the random number you go give it to the patient or a person, you can randomly select assign to group 1 or group 2, like this. So random number calculator, you can use it. Then next option is, so once you have collected the data, for we need to change into one calculation to another calculation, like create, you have to convert between the moles and grams. So like this we want to change some units. So whenever you want to change a unit, you can use the quick calculation to change the units before going to enter the data into the Excel. So these are the other uses of this GraphPad. So just now I told you what is the first step. You just go to that GraphPad online calculation. Then you have the screen will come here. I told you based on your data, you are going to select the test. Whether it's continuous data, whether it comes under normal distribution, parametric. Continuous data, not normal distribution, non-parametric. Categorical data, always non-parametric. Then this is going to first you have to check that normal distribution is present using this method. Then random number other help you can use by this software. Okay, fine. So again, I will go for this first one. Select first. We are going to check whether the data is comes under normal distribution or not by using the binomial position or Caucasian distribution. This is going to check that whether the data comes under normal distribution or not. Whether data normal distribution you can use for parametric, non-normal distribution it comes to non-parametric test. So I just showed you categorical data means non-parametric always. Don't worry. Do the maybe example I told you grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. This is or not like this you can use non-parametric distribution. Then comes to continuous data, I told you number, heart rate, BP, blood sugar. This comes under normal distribution parametric. Usually you can see unpaired t-test. I just now I show it to you. These are two different group, male and female. So unpaired t-test. Only one group, male before after paired t-test, female before after paired t-test, before intervention. Like example, before exercise, after exercise. Like. Then continuous data, whether the normal distribution present, you can use parametric. Okay. If it is not now comes to the normal distribution, you can use non-parametric. I told you the data you can enter through the raw data means you can copy all the data numbers of the particular group, copy paste one group and then go to second group. That also you can do that. Otherwise, you can take the mean standard deviation and total number of sample size. You can enter into the column 1, then column 2, the group 1, group 2. That also you can use for statistical analysis. So at the result table, you can see here, I told you two things you have to see there. Two-tail p-value, then one more thing, 95% confidence interval. Whether p-value is significant or not significant. So just now I show it to you that p-value is not significant. Now you can see this slide, the p-value is significant. Why is it significant? You can see this 95% confidence level range from same sign, minus to minus, -9 to -6. So that's why p-value is significant. It is plus to plus, p-value significant, but minus to plus, the p-value will not significant. That is a very important thing. You need to check whether p-value is significant or not significant. Okay. Then here mean, standard deviation, and sample size. Just you check it. Then I told you what are the other use of this GraphPad is going to calculate random number. Then also one more thing is going to conversion of unit from one unit to another unit. Okay. Okay. These two things will happen before going to start your data collection. All other things we can use it for after data collection, for data analysis. Okay. So what are the disadvantages for using this GraphPad? The instant GraphPad does not perform survival analysis, two-way ANOVA, logistic regression, multiple regression, factor or cluster analysis, or ANCOVA. These are the tests we cannot able to perform by using this GraphPad. Okay, right. Then comes to IBM SPSS software. This SPSS is a multidisciplinary tool for large scale data. So SPSS we can use normally large scale data analysis or large sample size. Then also we can use for advanced biomedical research, right? Okay. Those SPSS software can help the researcher at various level of analytical process, including planning of data collection, analysis, reporting, and effective